Well, I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. I'm saying yes, 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 yes. Woo! Yes to life. I'm saying yes to life. Yes right now. Yes, yes. The spirit of love within me is expressing itself right now. The spirit of joy within me is expressing itself right now. What are we gonna create today? The universe is ready to play. Yes, Spirit surely will lead the way. Yes, if you just say yes. I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. Ooh, I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. I'm saying yes, 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 yes to life. Yes to life. I'm saying yes to life. Right here, right now. Yes. The spirit of life within me is expressing itself right now. The spirit of light within me is expressing itself right now. Whatsoever you conceive, if you believe it, you can achieve it. The universe will always agree if you just say yes.
Morning. Now my mic is on. Good morning and welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living, coming to you live from the Inspiration Cafe right here in Paoli, Pennsylvania. Oh, we're glad that you're with us. It's wet outside. It's cool and wet and moist, and that's why Pennsylvania is so green. We're grateful for our rains. Wherever you may be, I don't know what your weather is today. I don't know where you may be in the world, but you're so welcome to be with us for this hour plus of inspiration and music and prayer and meditation and just returning to our source. We're so grateful that you're here, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, oh, you are so welcome with us. You'll find there's a lot of common denominators in all the beautiful faith traditions in this world. And wherever you may be traveling on your evolutionary spiritual path, this is a good place to spend a little time, because we're all of us, all of us are moving along, becoming more understanding, deepening our faith, expanding our horizons, and come along with us while we do this. The Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living utilizes all the beautiful tools that Ernest Holmes shared with us that we can apply to every human experience. And usually the most important one is spiritual mind treatment, or affirmative prayer. We'll be talking more about that today, as we do just about every time we get together. And we're part of a larger organization, Centers for Spiritual Living, which is a global community. We do have centers all around the world, and we're very grateful that it continues to expand, that we continue to get the word out, and people are being trained in these beautiful principles. Many become practitioners, some are becoming ministers, and it lights up the world. Now, in our wonderful greater community, we have developed a mission statement, a vision statement, and what we begin with, and remember to share with one another, and I invite you to say it with me now if you wish, is simply what we are here for, and that is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Its spiritual magnificence. It's time that you and I and all the people that we know and love, and those we haven't even met yet, became aware of our spiritual magnificence. We're not just humans. We're not just, as Bucky Fuller said, infants crawling around on the floor of the universe. We are designed, divinely designed. We have designer genes because we came right from the heart of God. And we also know that we're here very much on purpose, not only to live a beautiful, enthralling life, fulfilling life, free to be and to become that which we were designed to be, but we're also here to make a difference in the world. So we're clear in Centers for Spiritual Living that we are here co-creating a world that works for everyone. In fact, a world that works for all, because we care about the animals, we care about the plants, and we care about the waters and the seas, and we care about our beautiful planet. So we're very glad that you're with us. Come along for the ride today. It'll be a smooth ride, and we love that you have chosen to spend this time with us today. We also have in our own spiritual community right here a purpose statement that was developed by a group of us a number of years ago, and we still love it. We'd love to have you say it with us. Here it goes. Living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. And I always want to add another L to that, laughing, because we like to bring the cheer, the joy of God everywhere that we go. And now I would invite Reverend Mike to come up, please, because we like to read at least one of our Declaration of Principles that Ernest Holmes wrote in response to a question close to 100 years ago. What is it that you believe? And this is what he said we believe. This happens to be the 9th principle. And take it away, Reverend Mike.
Thank you, Dr. Maxine. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence.
Yes, I love that, because it happens to be true. We not only believe it, we understand it, because it is our personal experience. As you and I take a deep dive into spirit, as you and I open our hearts and stop the chatter in our minds and become receptive to what the divine has in mind to share with us, we realize that this is a very personal presence. And we chose this one today because this is the completion this month of the 4 basic principles of, well, they're the 4 introductory chapters that discuss the basic principles of science of mind. And sometimes folks get the idea that this is a mechanical law that we're talking about, and what happened to the experience of the warmth of the divine presence. Well, nothing happened to it at all. It happens that this is both love and law, and it's essential for me, and perhaps for the rest of us, to realize that God is so personal. And as I open my heart and my mind to experience it, there it is. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. And as we experience that, we're able to speak our word of truth and to utilize this beautiful law for good, which we're going to talk about after a while. But I think right now we need to have an opening song. And it was presented to us a few years ago by our beautiful GPCSL music team. Let's hear it again. I love that. Thank you, music team. Well, hi, I want to talk to kids. I'm so glad to be connecting with you wherever you may be. I trust you're out of bed by now and just tuned in, because it's important that we stay tuned in to God, isn't it? I was thinking that last summer, Reverend Mike and I got a beautiful brand new set of flatware. It's really very nice. It's pretty. It feels good in the hand. We love it all. But it seemed like it took me a while to unpack it. We were still using the old silverware, and it was fine. It was quite utilitarian, those utensils. There's nothing like a utilitarian utensil. So we did fine with that, but we really wanted the new ones. And finally, I took the time to take them out, and we love using them now. Well, we do the same thing with the tools, our mental tools that we have. We have some thoughts, some beliefs, some patterns of thinking and feeling, and they may work for us just fine for some time. But we might want to be prepared to get some shinier tools. Our new silverware is shinier than the other, and I like that too. So what I mean is, we might have some habits of thinking about people sometimes lovingly and sometimes with criticism. Well, those tools will work for us up to a point, especially when we use the ones where we're thinking kindly about someone else rather than criticizing even in our minds. And so eventually we realize we want some new mental tools. We want to be focusing more on the presence of spirit within everyone. We want to be shining up our consciousness and realizing that without exception, every person comes from the life of the divine. Now, maybe somebody said something to you at school the other day that didn't sound so divine. Well, I'm sorry about that. It happens. It's called growing up. We're all in the process of doing that. But if in that moment was hard to do at the time, but if we decide ahead of time that if that should take place again, in that moment, I can choose something different. I can choose love instead. I can choose not to be affected by it. That's a new tool. Huh? It's shinier. I can choose to see right past the appearance of someone's behavior to that beloved presence of the divine. That's the truth of their being. That's a shiny new tool. So our thoughts, our words, our feelings, our behaviors, they are a very important part of our spiritual evolution. That means becoming more aware of divine, the divinity that is our truth, our authentic self. And we use the tools of affirmative prayer. And you kids learned this when you were young in Fun Day School, remember? You learned God is, I am, I speak my truth, I give thanks for it, I let it go. That's affirmative prayer. That's a wonderful, shiny tool. It's spiritual mind treatment. Let's use it some more. Let's keep our thoughts in the highest. Let's keep our feelings in the most peaceful. Let's keep our behaviors in the most beautiful. Those are your tools. Use them well. Use them every day. We love you. We look forward to seeing you maybe next week, some of you in person. Bye for now. Okay. Now I think we better have some announcements. Wouldn't that be a good idea? I'm going to invite our president, Edie Jan, to come up. Here you go.
Thanks, Dr. Maxine. Hello, everybody. Edie Janik, happy to serve as the president for the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living Board of Trustees. So welcome, welcome. Glad you decided to spend your morning with us this morning. It is kind of a rainy, gloomy day here in Pennsylvania, Paoli, Pennsylvania, but we're going to warm things up with our Sunday celebration. So the monthly bot spot did come out on time, yay, for January. So you can go, it just came out last Thursday. It's also on our website, so you can go to the website. And all of the items that I'm going to be sharing with you in the next few minutes are on the website, very conveniently put into what we call the pop-up box. Payson. Excellent. So we have, when you go to our website, which is www.cslphilly.org, there's this really convenient pop-up box that's kind of fun to say, that gives you a brief description of all the activities, any special messages or that kind of thing, and then you have a link right there in the pop-up box. It'll take you directly to that item. Now, if you want to go off the path and not go through the pop-up box, you just click the little X in the top right corner, and it'll go away, and then you're free to roam however you like. But it's there. Thank you, Linda, for putting it together, and it's quite convenient. So we just wanted to spend a moment to help encourage you to go check it out. So we started in January, on January 7th, having our Sunday celebrations alternating every other week. So our next in-person Sunday celebration will be next Sunday, February 4th. And then the one in person following that would be February 18th, and so on. In person, not in person, not in person. We're always here at the Inspiration Cafe every Sunday, but on those alternating in-person Sundays, we invite folks to come and hang out with us and live, love, and learn and laugh a lot. We do a lot of laughing. So, and you kind of get to see behind the scenes too. But you need to register because seating is limited. And you can do that, guess where? In that pop-up box. All right. So, next we have Reverend Mike continues to hold his weekly How to Use the Science of Mind Zoom workshop Saturday mornings, 9:45 to 11 a.m. And he's still like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going and going and going, enriching people's lives through conversation, deep conversation. It's a beautiful thing. Register so that you can get the email to join. You can join anytime. We hold our Nibbles and New Thought discussion gathering the first Monday of each month. Our next will be held tomorrow evening, February 5th. Thank you. We were just talking about it, though, when we said it was tomorrow. It's not tomorrow. It's February 5th, and there are seats available, so register today. Our next full moon celebration, led by Diane Wilson, will be held on Saturday, February 24th from 7 to 8 p.m. in Collegeville. You'll want to register for that as well. And a little bit of a tease for you. Notice my button. I don't know if you can see my button. I borrowed from. Anybody know who this is for bonus points?
Emma Curtis Hopkins.
That's who it is, Emma Curtis Hopkins. And that's the little tease because Dr. Maxine will be offering an inspiring Emma Curtis Hopkins class entitled Unveiling Your Hidden Power starting Tuesday, February 27th. And I know that has a lot of folks in our community very excited. So stay tuned for more details to come shortly. Dr. Cheryl Macklin will be holding an in-person 7-session grief group starting Wednesday, March 20th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the Inspiration Cafe. This is This group is open to anyone who would like to share a healing experience with others in relation to losses he or she has experienced. These can include losses such as a loss of a loved one or a beloved pet, an illness, loss of a job, aging, loss of certain abilities, or divorce, sense of loss. This group is available in person only. And please speak with Cheryl if you wish to sign up. Group is limited to 8 participants. So it's a lot of deep work in just those 90 minutes over the course of what did we say, 7 weeks? 7 sessions. So the easiest way to find out more information or to register for any of these events is to go to our website, which we talked about. The pop-up box is there. It's your pathway to all this great stuff. So have a fabulous day.
Yay, Prez Edie. Thank you so much. Always fun. I agree. I think we do need to add laugh for the 4th L. Now let's have an opening affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment, and a reading preceding it by our practitioner of the day, Sarah Funk. Yay!
Thank you, Dr. Maxine. I'm going to read a little excerpt from How to Use the Science of Mind. This is the book we are exploring every Saturday morning. So if you're interested in joining us, just contact Reverend Mike. Man not only has a right to individualize creative power, nature has imposed this necessity upon him. He has no choice other than to use this creative power. His thought will always be creative, whether he knows it or not. The creativity of man's thought has nothing to do with his will or his belief. It is here just as nature is here. It is the use of a creative power that man has control over, not the thing itself. I will do this treatment in the first person, and please take it for yourself if you so desire. Because I know that God is love. That love is everywhere present. I know that it is present within me as I move forward in my life, using this creative power to heal, to prosper. This creative power dispels any darkness and lifts me to a new level of my spiritual growth. This is such a precious gift, and I use it wisely, knowing that this love is good, it's all God, and it lives in every single one of us. This is so joyous. It lives in nature. It lives as love, and only love, the greatest power that there is. So I know this is the truth. I am deeply grateful and thankful that this is so as I release this treatment into that law of God, knowing all is well, all is well. And together we say, and so it is. And the affirmation is, I delight in the power and presence and maintain an elevated consciousness of truth as I design my life in beauty.
Am I nervous? Of course I am. You don't even have to ask. Facing a mystery, anyone would be. One more step and it's out of my hands. There can be no turning back. Can't say what's in front of me. You know I can't wait to see. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just gotta do. I don't know what I'll find, but there's one thing I know about my life. It's gotta be, it's just gotta be true. Oh yeah. I remember, of course I do, how I used to hear my heart, what I most wanna be, what I most long to see. Well, that voice has faded so far away. I hardly recognize myself. What happened to me? No wonder I couldn't breathe. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just gotta do. I don't know what I'll find, but there's one thing I know about my life. It's gotta be, yeah, it's just gotta be true. It's been a lifelong habit, gave away my power, playing follow the leader again and again. Well, my soul won't have it, I won't hide or cower. I'm ready to dive back in. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just gotta do. This is something I owe to myself. This
This is something I've just gotta do. I don't care what I'll find, but there's one thing I know about my life. It's gotta be true. It's gotta be true. It's gotta be true.
Indeed, Daniel, we gotta be true to our authentic self. So let's take a moment now in remembering who we are by beginning by breathing in a deep, sacred breath of life. The prana, the chi, the life divine itself that loves to circulate through our physical bodies, our emotions, our minds. With each breath that we take in, there is an illumination of every cell in our bodies and every corner of our consciousness. With every exhalation, there is the expressing of that love light to all in our room, in our world. So continue letting that light bring us to a beautiful awareness that there is God and nothing else. For God is in all, over all, through all, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniactive, present, right here within each of our hearts. So as we continue breathing that precious life of spirit, allowing ourselves to be renewed and revealed in our magnificence, our spiritual authority, our deep truth. It is a coming home, coming back to the place we began and knowing it for the first time. Let that breath now become a pathway to our hearts, and traversing it with light, joyful steps of imagination over the bridge and into the central part of our hearts. Let's feel ourselves being welcomed home. Welcomed home. Where there is love and light, life, peace, power, beauty and joy. That warm divine embrace has welcomed us. We are at peace, completely present with the presence, watching that inner light become brighter, radiating out into the world, letting the world itself being illumined now. Let it be refreshed and uplifted. Let the revealing of wholeness in all sentient beings become our reality. Perceive the love that dwells within all corners of the world, for indeed the world is round, it has no corners. And in this place of peace and love and wisdom and illumination, let our new vision of a new world, heaven on earth, begin to be revealed. How sweet it is to remember that it all begins with the inner word of truth. It all begins here in our beautiful creative imagination, where all is revealed in its holiness, in our own lives, in the lives of our loved ones, where they are free to be the beautiful beings they are. And it is true within the world itself, where the illuminating presence of the Christ is healing and revealing, blessing, and bringing the authenticity of all into full, beautiful, complete manifestation here and now. Dive a little more deeply into the center of your heart, which is being held so tenderly by the cosmic heart of God. And just be there. If there's a question in your heart, silently ask it now. And listen with the ear of your heart as the answers are being revealed. Let the light continue to grow more brightly as the answers are fully expressed in the right way and at the right time. And let your heart be content, for all is well. On the deepest level, truly, truly, all is well.
I clothe myself safely round with infinite love and wisdom. I clothe myself safely round with infinite love and wisdom. With love, with love, with infinite love and wisdom.
If I wanted to stop, I would just turn around. If I lived in regret, that would just slow me down. I won't let my heart be silent. When I'm ready, you will know, 'cause my heart's gonna open and sing. This is my vision and this is my dream. I'm gonna make it happen for me. I won't let my heart be silent. When I'm ready, you will know, 'cause my heart's gonna open and sing. My heart's gonna open perfect thing. It's the perfect thing. When I'm ready, you will know, 'cause my heart opens up and sings.
Oh, I love that, Emily. I love Emily, and I love her song. And she wrote that, and she sings it so well. Thank you. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do my Bible thumping today. Actually, it's called The Science of Mind, and we affectionately refer to it as the textbook because so many of our classes utilize this beautiful book that was put together by Ernest Holmes and some help from his friends. Well, the theme for this year, 2024, here at the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living is a whole new world. What a great idea! A whole new world. And January's theme has been an auspicious new beginning. And it has been that. We've been going through the basics of science of mind, starting with the first 4 introductory chapters in the science of mind. And today we're focusing on the 4th chapter. And my topic is using the power for good. For good! What else? Well, it has been used for other things, and we just don't cotton to that anymore, do we? We're here to remember why we are utilizing this power for good and only good, nothing less than that. You see, we're wrapping up our annual review of the Science of Mind basics, and we're grateful to have that opportunity. You know, as Ernest Holmes says in the beginning of this chapter 4, we are reminded that we're likely to engage in too much theory and too little practice. We are here to be practitioners, that is, practicing the principles that change our lives. So let's jump into the deep end of faith today and put it to use, right? Are you ready? Here we go. All right, here's a quote from Ernest Holmes in this chapter. Thought should tend more and more toward an affirmative attitude of mind that is positive, stable, and above all else, toward a real unity with spirit that is already complete and perfect. Yahoo! We don't have to make anything better. Isn't that the great news? It's already perfect. A healing is not a healing. It is a revealing of what's already been there all the time. Spirit underlies every appearance. That's what we get to do and to remember and to utilize in our beautiful spiritual mind treatment and our affirmations. That God is omniscient, all-knowing, omnipresent, everywhere present, omnipotent, all-powerful, and omniactive, always active, always working. Spirit is the eternal life and source of all. Oh, it is deeply personal. Deeply personal. This teaching is about love and law. The loving presence of God is, as we read in Scripture, closer than hands and feet, nearer than breathing. It flows through us. It is never outside of us. It is all that is. So that spirit, eternal life, the source of all. Then there's the law of mind. These are coexistent. These are not two different entities. God is all, wholeness, holiness, the sacred presence itself. And it is the presence, and it is the power, and it is the law. It is that intelligent, creative activity that's at work within all of us, because each of us is an individualized manifestation, emanation, individualized expression of the one life. So what's true in the macrocosm is true in the microcosm. What's true in the absolute is true in the personal, in the individual. So the law of mind is intelligent. It is reliable, dependable, capable, accurate. It is responsive. And the law is completely impersonal. It doesn't care if you're 2 or 92. It responds reliably to the thought that is implanted in the seed. It is the seed of that wonderful fertile soil of the subconscious mind. Its intelligence knows only to respond. You see, there's intelligence in the conscious choosing aspect of the infinite. And there is an intelligence in the receiving, the receptive expression of that intention that was planted. There's the intelligence that chooses. It is conscious. There's the intelligence that reproduces. It is intelligence, but it can't make up its mind for you and me. You and I choose what it is that we're planting. Back to the good old religious science farmer metaphor. What I plant, my seed thought, in the fertile soil of infinite mind produces after its own kind. Nothing different, although it may be multiplied. It will be true to what I've planted. So that's whether it's in the finite or in the infinite. That's the way the law works. Isn't that wonderful? And we read in Scripture, oh, how I love thy law. I love the presence and court the presence. And I love the law and I direct the law. That's what this teaching is all about. So we have sovereignty. Don't you love that word? We have sovereignty in the direction of our intention. Those are the choices that we make all the time. Most of the time, maybe a little too much of the time, the choices that we make are not conscious. And sometimes they turn out all right, and sometimes they turn out differently. Have you ever had any different choices turn out in a way that you wish you had thought in another manner? I think we all have. Okay. En hologos, en orke, en hologos, kai hologos, kai theos en hologos. I must remember that. I'll tell it to you differently. All of you ancient Greeks out there, forgive me, I didn't say it quite right. But it means in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Actually, the interpretation is in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was from the divine, and the Word was divine. The Word is divine. When we're speaking our word, it isn't necessarily audibly that we speak it. It is our imagination. It is what our vision is. It is what we're forming in our hearts and our minds. That's the word, the logos. It is a divine pattern that we are creating, that we're then ready to give to that subjective portion of infinite mind that has the intelligence to bring it into fruition. Isn't this a wonderful, wonderful philosophy? You know, Ernest Holmes didn't make it up. He drew from the great ancients, from the theologians, from the philosophers. This is called New Thought, unity, religious science, divine science, but it is based on ancient wisdom. Ernest just brought it together in such a beautiful, practical way. It is a sane, practical spirituality, and we're so grateful for the gift of it. And you know, Ernest was not interested in creating churches. Did you know that? He was interested in people in the world understanding how to utilize these principles. And he didn't care if they were Jews or Buddhists or Christians or Zoroastrians. He wanted everybody to learn how to think in order to learn how to live. That's what this philosophy is about. Now, it did develop into churches, and isn't it funny? He must be having a good time thinking that, oh, we're not churches anymore, we're centers. What difference does it make what we call ourselves? We are spiritual centers. We are transformation stations where people learn to deepen their faith in the living presence. deepen their awareness of this divine love, which is constant and eternal. Deepen their awareness of how to utilize the law to speak our word of truth and make a beautiful difference, to awaken to the authentic self that we are, to live our lives in freedom, and to let other people live their lives in freedom as well. You know, I used to think it'd be great if we knew how to change people. I used to think it'd be really great if we had some remotes like you'd use for the TV, and if someone is saying something you don't want them to say, you just go, wouldn't that be great? Well, we don't need to do that. It just is not helpful. What is helpful for me is to give others the freedom to follow their own path in their own way, at their own time, with their own truth revealing itself as I maintain a vision of wholeness for them. That's utilizing the power for good, for good. It's maintaining our awareness in the absolute and not allowing ourselves to get too distracted by and involved in the darn relative. Anybody have any darn relatives? I didn't mean it like that. So how are we directing our word? How are we directing our creative imagination? This great, powerful gift that you and I were all given without exception. We're all given this gift of a creative imagination in order to utilize our word of truth for good. As Emma Curtis Hopkins says, and oh, do join me in this marvelous journey we're going to take the end of next month with Emma. She says, let it be truth on our tongue. I love that. Let's speak truth on our tongue. Ernest says, we are surrounded by an intelligent force and substance from which all things come. The ultimate essence in the invisible and subjective world of all visible subjective forms and conditions. It is around us in its original state, ready and willing to take form through the impulse of our creative belief. It works for us by flowing through us. You see, it's not something separate and apart from us, any more than the presence of the divine can ever be separate and apart from us. The law itself is always moving through us. It is always right where we are, accepting the impress of our thought and acting upon it. Hooray! What a great system! You see, it is not always intelligently that human beings have utilized this intelligence. Have you noticed? Okay. Causation is the first, and the effect follows it. We're not always aware of the seeds that we have planted. And I think we need to cut ourselves and everyone else in the world a little slack about having misused this beautiful, intelligent law. Now we know better. Now we can do better. That's important. Here and now. Effect follows intention. Some of our friends years ago who were in S said, intention is measured by effect. And people didn't always want to hear that. Well, I didn't mean that. Well, yes, you did. But effect does follow intention. Here we are. I'm going to say it right this time. Enarche, kaihologos en theos. Okay? Got that? Say it with me. What is your intention each morning? I form an intention every morning to open my heart to the living presence of the Christ that shows me the way, that never fails me. It is always my creative intention to be aligned with that presence that adores me and every one of us. It is always my creative intention to set the stage for a day of wholeness, a day of joy, a day of easy accomplishment, of peaceful power. Where is your focus as you begin the day? That's a good question to ask ourselves, isn't it? What is your intention, young man and young woman? What is your intention? Let it be honorable. And the most honorable our intention can be is for us to align ourselves with the harmonious, loving, intelligent, wise, powerful presence of Spirit. And let it show us the way. Less of me, more of thee. Less of me, more of thee. Expressing through me. Begin with I am. I am is the name of God. There's nothing more powerful than that name, I am. And let's be aware that we blaspheme. I love that old word. If we say I am, which is the name of God, and say anything that is untrue, like I am tired, that's blasphemous. That is taking the name of the Lord in vain. I am the energy of life. That's the truth. That's authentic. I am is the beginning of every powerful phrase. Let's be aware and keep that truth on our tongue. Consciously become aware of the Spirit that is within and all around us. Let's remember that the original Spirit is harmony. Oh, yeah, well, why is there all that chaos out there? And why am I experiencing it in my life and in my consciousness? Well, let's get back to the basics. There's an intelligence at work within all of the universe and within each of us. And we were given choice as to how to direct that intelligence. Inadvertently, I would like to think inadvertently, rather than intentionally, people have misused the law. Things have shown up in the world other than their original intention of heaven on earth, of peace and glory and power and beauty and love and justice, plenty for everyone, and a full expression of that divine life within each of us. So, what do? We remember that all of the contents that we're aware of are held in the context of divine harmonious life. The contents come and go. They change. Conditions change. They always have, they always will. They are transitory. God is permanent. I just need to discipline myself, my thinking, and I love the word discipline, as many of you know. It comes from the same root as disciple. I am a disciple to the presence of God within me. And I love remembering that as I discipline my thinking and choose to keep the high watch, no matter what else I may perceive at that moment, everything changes. I live peacefully. I am not disturbed. I am not distracted by any of the nonsense out there. As our beloved Reverend Dr. J. Scott Neal would say, none of that nincompoopery moves me. I wish to keep the high watch. It is my choice because conditions change when what? The consciousness changes. And it's all consciousness. It's all God. It's all right here. For our spiritual development, making our clear, correct choices, keep our attention on truth, on love, on harmony and goodness, and do not allow any external distractions. Sometimes that means turning something off. You know what I'm talking about. It might be the TV, it might be our phones. Let's not allow ourselves to make a god out of something that is nincompoopery. Discipline our thoughts and our feelings. It's a beautiful feeling. Again, thought, he says, should tend more and more toward an affirmative attitude of mind that is positive, stable, and above all else, toward a real unity with Spirit that is already complete and perfect. And this I love. we should be able to look a discordant fact in the face and deny its reality. Deny and affirm. Deny the appearance and affirm the truth. That's what this teaching is all about. That has no place at my table. This is my divine truth. Choose this day whom you will serve. We read from Scripture. I love that. Choose this day whom you will serve. We want to make a positive impact on the world, yes? We're here to do that. And we can do that in our own lives and in the world itself, which is why it's a wonderful question to ask ourselves each day, especially coming out of meditation. What is mine to do today? It's peaceful. It's easy. It's powerful. Entering into that consciousness of open-hearted guidance, inviting the guidance of Spirit to show me today what is mine to do, not becoming enthralled with or disturbed by external events, not to give power to any appearances. Change the consciousness and the false condition will disappear. Conditions are not entities. We are entities. You are a divine entity with this power. Truth on your tongue. Let's use it in the most beautiful ways. Because as Jesus taught us, we are in this world, but we are not of it. We came from somewhere else. The somewhere else is our truth, our eternal reality, the divine presence that each of us is and brought into this world. I do my best to keep my conversations in heaven, knowing that the powerful presence of God is alive within me, knowing that the powerful presence of God is alive within you, within all sentient beings. And I love to follow Emmett Fox's golden key. You know what that is. Forget about the problem and think about God. It's that simple. Forget about it. Forget about the problem and think about God. This is how we build our faith. God plus nothing equals God. And there is nothing but God. We use the power for good wisely. And we invite it to use us. As Ernest Holmes said, there is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. And this is when we come to the point of realization that we are here to be the divine instruments through which the power flows. That there is a power for good in the universe. It's greater than we are, and it can use us. Let it. Feel the flow of Spirit's life-generating presence. A life-generating presence where we can walk through this world and we walk past the sickness and we walk past the poverty and we generate new life without a word, without anything audible, just with our powerful consciousness. That is what we're here to do. Let's invite this presence to use us for loving, creative fulfillment, to envision truth and beauty, to keep the high watch, to stay the course, to use our creative imagination for what we were brought here to do. I want to read a bit from the last of this wonderful chapter 4, which is called How to Use It. A new light is coming into the world. We're on a borderland of a new experience. The veil between spirit and matter is very thin. The invisible passes into visibility through our faith in it. A new science, a new religion, and a new philosophy are rapidly being developed. This is in line with the evolution of the great presence, and nothing can hinder its progress. It is useless as well as foolish to make any attempts to cover this principle or to hold it as a vested right of any religion, sect, or order. The truth will out. The Spirit will make itself known. Happy are we if we see these things which from the foundation of the human race, have been longed for by all aspiring souls. True thought deals directly with first cause, and this science is the study of first cause, spirit, or the truth, that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff and intelligence from which everything comes, the power back of creation, the thing itself. Will you say with me, there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is good. That life is my life now. The only life there is to have or to be. There is one power. That power is God's power. That power is good. That power is my power now. The only power there is to have or to be. I choose wisely and lovingly to use this power for good, for great good now. And so, my beloved ones, beginneth our lesson. Oh, thank you, loved ones. Let's now celebrate, keep celebrating the abundance of God, because it flows through us uninterrupted, especially when we allow that circulation to take place. Oh, microphone. Let's celebrate the abundance of God. Let's celebrate our prosperity, because it is an attribute of God, and it is flowing through each and all of us right now. And it increases in every beautiful way as we circulate it. So today, let's circulate our good. Let's delight in the abundance that is always ours to share. And however you choose to give your gift, and whatever your gift may be, we are so grateful we bless it as it is blessing you right now. Those are the various ways that you may give and share to celebrate all the blessings that this center provides for all of us. So let's begin with the prosperity celebration affirmation. I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is.
There's one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings, or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. And we'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus or Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, yeah. One power is what we are. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power. What we are is it's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. And I love how the power of love expresses through his beautiful consciousness and his wonderful music. What a blessing. So let's go forth today in a consciousness of powerful love and the power that expresses in, through, and as each of our imaginings, our beautiful word of truth. Let it be spoken, truth, on our tongue. Keep the high watch. All is well, using the power for good, and so it is.
And so it is.